Blank features, blank canvas, or genuinely blank when it comes to fielding and 11. Welcome to another edition of the FPL Addicts podcast, blank Gameweek 31 edition. But nonetheless, there's always a bit of chatter going across our community. And tonight, I introduce you to one who has been on the podcast quite a handful of times already, but sometimes crisis creates an opportunity. It is our favourite Chatterbox from down under in Ryan. Good morning to you from where you are. How are things?
Good morning, Chaza. I am good. Thank you for having me on once again, and welcome to everyone in the chat as well. Thank you for joining us during this time. Things are going okay. Looking forward to talking some FPL. Obviously, blank game week upcoming, and some European games ongoing as well at the moment. So, if anything happens, we'll let you know about it.
We certainly will. So, Coleman, Banjo, thank you as per usual. And we will get to European games, as you mentioned, very shortly. But before all of that, we may as well dwell on what occurred last weekend and see how we went. So, this is straight to you, unless you wanted to go 9 steps ahead.
Well, you want to see last weekend's score or?
Yeah.
All right. So this was last weekend's score. So 57 points, tiny green arrow. So Kelleher in goal, Van Dijk, Gabriel Hill, Rice, Bruno Fernandes with the armband, Mbuemo, Wilson, Thiago, Ekitike, and Joe Pedro. And then on the bench, I had Dubravka, Enzo, Mark Guehi, and Mukiele. So basically, Bruno returning, another double-digit haul, alongside Gabriel and Hill, basically, and Thiago as my only other performers. The rest of the team were pretty poor. Ekitike obviously got benched with alongside Salah for those who had Salah as well. So I'm hoping, obviously, now that Liverpool obviously won in midweek and with the international break upcoming, so Ekitike, I'm hoping he starts for the upcoming game week. My only issue at the moment, if I was to, do you want to see team as well, or for this week, or?
Oh, no, we can do that later on. It's all good.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's okay. Hopefully a wild card soon because I don't like some of the players I have, Mbuemo and Enzo, but that's not for this week though.
Yeah. Well, nice stuff. There's plenty of red in there too. So 57,
Yeah.
that's a half decent score. Fair play to you. And
Indeed.
we shall go to what is how we went last week. And just getting it up now. It was 10 less. It been just 47 points. Banjo got the 67. Fair play to him as well. Well done to you. So this is how we went. 47. Senesi with a massive 10-pointer. Cunha with a goal. Thiago got his goal on Monday night. And we, yet again, benched the wrong keeper. Gabriel did something, which was a bonus and defensive contributions. So that's how we kind of went on that front. But just a super quick check on the podcast league as well and how that's going this season. It's Marcello who's still leading by 83 points at the moment. Reedy had a good week with 67. Just a brief check on this one, which included a bench boost and got 18 points. So it was pretty good going from him. So well done to you, Reedy. Right. We got something to discuss, and that is the results that have gone about. And we saw Liverpool go through. We saw Arsenal go through. Not quite the same can be said for Chelsea and Liam Senior. Newcastle 7-2 in the second leg. What's been your take from European action?
I mean, overall, you could say it's been very poor for the English teams. However, today maybe it's looking a bit more positive with Palace winning their game as things stand. Forest, on the other hand, looks like this might even go to pens if no one scores in the next minute or next 15 minutes. I mean, overall, I think the Premier League has become too physical and too set piece oriented that when it comes to Europe, they are struggling. And that's shown basically in the last 2 weeks. We've seen a lot of it being exposed. Chelsea got smashed, literally smashed both legs. And then Newcastle, who I thought did really well in the first leg, obviously ended up getting smashed as well in the second leg against Barcelona. City were just very poor, and City have been poor, to be honest, this entire season, and very inconsistent as well. Didn't really offer much, didn't really create much. And which is why I think a lot of us have also sold Haaland or not even like captained him as much recently. Um, so overall, generally poor. I guess the only thing is like Arsenal got through, which we expected, and Liverpool managed to win their home tie as well, so they are through as well. But yeah, overall, generally, I think very poor for the league. But yeah, fifth place is still there for anyone who wants fifth place. But it might have an effect next season, though. This season's performances.
Yeah. How have you assessed United under Michael Carrick? Because it has been quite a profoundly positive start.
Yes, our life has been beautiful since he has taken over. No more having to get thrashed by rival fans in the comments. I guess the only guy who's not happy is the guy who hasn't been able to cut his hair. Yeah, still because we haven't won 5 in a row.
Right.
But I only just wish we sacked Ruben Amorim way earlier than when we did. Because if we did, we might have been at least, I don't know, we might have even been in a title race, because
Yeah.
we've been like, since he's taken over, if you look at the form table, we're currently on top since Carrick has taken over. So if only we did it earlier. But it is what it is. Third place, looking like it's going to be third place to come into the season, but we'll see.
Well, it was a massive win against Aston Villa, wasn't it? Who were just breathing down your neck.
Yeah, indeed. And Aston Villa also like in free fall at the moment recently. I think for Villa, I think the best thing would be the Europa League potentially. Because Unai Emery is a good manager in terms of when it comes to cup competitions, especially the Europa League. He loves that trophy. So if he can get them that, I think that would be pretty good for them, especially with the form in the Premier League. If they continue to drop, and if they fall out of the fifth place spot as well, Europa League could be a good way to get into the Champions League.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Big time. Right. Quick check on the public league before we go into discussion in terms of sides and also what caught your eye through the course of this week. So it is Ryan who still leads by 9 points. Kieran had a slightly better game with 58 alongside Budgie and Sam having achieved as such. And fourth and fifth on 1827. And Mike Alpin just a point behind there too. So still, yeah, plenty to play out in what is turning out to be quite a long season. Right. What is there to look out for? Because we have got a blank game week, don't we? And our managers genuinely just scrambling to get an 11 out.
Probably. I've seen a lot of teams with 10 and like even mine, like 10 with Mukiele as the doubt. Because we don't know whether he's going to be fit or not. Obviously, he was not fit last week, but then the manager in the press conference said that we'll see whether we can get them fit for this week. So there's so many questions on that. I've seen a few teams that still have like triple Arsenal, triple City, or like triple Arsenal, double City, and like even double Palace. So there are managers who are out there taking -4s and -8s as well potentially for this week. So if you're in a situation where you can get 11 out without taking a hit, I think you're already on a green arrow to start with, compared to those who have to take hits. But yeah, the idea is try and get 11 out instead of playing a free hit chip instead, to be honest.
Well, there's an interesting question about is it worth buying Malik Chow?
He is on my radar as one. Again, this is back to the whole Mukiele thing. If he's not available, I kind of need a defender. Malik Chow is one. And the other one I'm considering is Anderson from Fulham. Just because Anderson and Fulham just are predicted to have the better clean sheet odds. The reason I'm thinking Malik Chow is obviously Sunderland have fallen off a cliff recently, and with their goalkeeper also injured, who I thought was one of their best players this season. Malik Chow racking up DEFCON. He's a goal threat as well from set pieces, and he's capable of spiking a 17-pointer, which I have had from him when I owned him. So I have managed to spike that 17-pointer. So that's kind of why I'm considering him again, because he's very well capable of like a massive haul.
And what about Manchester City and Arsenal assets, who do we prioritise in terms of bringing in? Well, not in, but who do we take
Or
out,
keeping?
or does it really
Oh,
all depend on team value?
ooh. Yeah, it probably might depend on team value more than anything. Team value, I think, like how much you have stored in them compared to their current price. Um, because like you're not selling Gabriel, right? You probably bought him for when he was like 6 something, and now it's like 7 million something. And even if you were to sell him now, you'll be selling at like 6 something. So those type of players you wouldn't sell. Haaland is a different case. I sold Haaland, and that's because the only difference between for me, like there's only a 0.1 difference of Haaland's price when I sold him. And I think that with a lot of people continue to sell him, that'll just keep dropping. So for me, it made sense to sell Haaland. But yeah, again, it comes down to team value. And also, like, you might have double Arsenal defense, and you might also have a City defender. In that case, you'll have to kind of consider if your second Arsenal defender is like a Timber, who is currently injured. Maybe you can sell him and keep the City defender just in case.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And with the Norwegian, especially, do you believe that the time is pretty much up with him at the minute?
No, I wouldn't really rule out Haaland, to be honest. Like just like that. Like obviously, he's going through a bad patch, but at the same time, he's very well capable of scoring. I just think Pep has bought too many like direct players for themselves. Like if you look at Semenyo is also a talisman who in Bournemouth was the main man, right? And he's come to City and he's done really well, to be honest. But at the same time, it has had an effect on Haaland's service as well. Whereas when you see Cherky, for example, come and play for City, it looks a bit better for Haaland as well because there's more of a creative presence than I'm a end game goal scorer type presence.
There's a lot to consider, without a doubt.
Yeah.
Right. And okay, so we've got the blanks, we've got the doubles. Where do you see the doublers in terms of the big doubles being sandwiched in? Is it going to be 32 or 34, do you believe?
So 33 is planned to be the big double, with 34 the blank. But as things stand, I'm just looking because there's this talk about potentially like the Palace versus Manchester City game could be in 32, for example, if Palace were to get knocked out. But it's currently Palace are leading like 2-1 on aggregate with like 1 minute of the game to go, or less than 1 minute of the game to go. Maybe a bit of added time on the already existing added time. So if Palace see this out, then there's not going to be any of that 32 double information because obviously they'll have European game instead during that time. So then all of us who sold Haaland and who are looking to sell City assets don't need to worry about it, especially those who don't have their wildcard chip, because they don't have to worry about it as well. So then it's most likely that we end up in a situation where 33 is the big double. If City beat Liverpool in the FA Cup, then there's then there should be the case where City and Palace have another double later as well, potentially in 36. For those of you who didn't play your triple captaincy chips, that might be a week that you potentially look into playing it as well. So yeah, we're looking at 33 double, one other double later maybe for City Palace, if City beat Liverpool in the FA Cup.
Wow, plenty to take in. And so is the transfer market too, because we've got a big resurgence from the tsunami from that part of the country, and then João Pedro heading into fifth, and then of course the obvious one's been in the transfers out. Any particular surprises do you notice?
Not really, no. No, I think everyone's like looking at getting some Newcastle options ahead of the Sunderland fixture because Sunderland have been poor. Bruno Fernandes, best player in the league. You need to buy him, to be honest, Chaza. I looked at your team and I was like, where is he? Senesi has been just wrapping up DEFCON and bonus points, to be fair. So that makes sense. Joe Pedro, obviously a good strike option. And everyone who's getting sold is blanket this week. So, yeah.
No, fair. I pretty much agree. It's great to see João Pedro having hit form because that hat trick at Villa Park really spiked his interest, didn't it?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I'm glad I kept him for that because he was on good form before that as well. And people sold because of the Arsenal game because it was one tough game. Now, obviously, he didn't score last week as well, but then Chelsea kind of were poor as well at the same time. So we'll see. I have him for this week, so hopefully he'll get something. But yeah, good to have him.
Yeah, right. So that is the transfers front and the fixtures, where it's only 8 games, but we got the League Cup final 2 on Sunday, which is at 4:30 after the double header. Any particular games that stand out to you?
Well, I guess the standouts would be the derby, the Tyneside derby, Newcastle Sunderland, and obviously the Nuno Espirito Santos relegation derby of Spurs versus Forest, even though Nuno is not the manager at those two teams anymore. I mean, that's definitely, those two are the definite standouts.
Yeah, I was for. I just got to simply have to go Tottenham Forest. Like, that is a ginormous showdown, isn't it?
Indeed. I feel like the winner of that might just escape relegation, potentially. We don't know yet.
Yeah. What did you think of that press conference?
Which one?
The one on Sky with Igor Tudor.
Oh, I haven't seen it.
Oh, because it was an interesting line of questioning. Let's put it that way from the journalist. Did you see how what Tudor thought it was Arne Slot?
Oh, I have seen that meme.
Yeah.
I mean, that was pretty funny. The fact that he mistook his own like colleague as Arne Slot. But I mean, so many people like on a match day that are walking about. I mean, there are ball people in the world, unfortunately, of the same build. So that's a bit that's just a bit unlucky. You just take it as a joke and you go move on. To be honest.
Yeah. There you go. So that's transfers and fixtures done. I didn't mean to whiz bang through all of the entire agenda points, but was there anything particular you wanted to kind of mention or discuss? So I know we're 18 minutes in, but we're just zooming.
Well, right now from the European front, it looks like Palace should be winning this game because they've gone past the added time as well. However, Forest are going to penalties as things stand against FC Midtjylland. So we'll see who actually ends up winning that in a few minutes. We'll know. But yeah, I mean, I guess captaincy is very interesting this week. And obviously there are a few options. But what do you think?
Oh, captaincy already. Well,
I mean, if you want, I would just that's something I thought of. But is there anything else before that?
Well, let's make it short and sharp. That's what I say. So Fernandez, he's away at Bournemouth, 5 double-figure hauls in his last 9 matches. What somewhat dents his appeal is how he's gone in away games under Michael Carrick from his 4 trips at 17 points, having consisted 2 assists. João Pedro, we know last time Chelsea scored in the league match, it was a hat-trick away at Villa Park. Harry Wilson's the intriguing one with 16 points in the reverse fixture away at Turf Moor. He's a joint 6th top scoring player in the league this season alongside Gabriel and Thiago with 82 points. And Burnley have conceded at least twice in 12 of their last 15 away matches. And Ekitike, who goes away to Brighton, he scored a brace in the reverse fixture in December.
So who do you prefer? Like, mine is on Bruno as things stand, but
well, yeah, I think that's a really good suggestion. I've just realised, hang on, Chalobah's not playing, so he's out. So I need to make changes anyways. Oh my god.
Okay.
Right. Do we just go to our teams?
We can. Yeah.
Or did you? I feel really bad. It's only 20 minutes, and we've just zoomed our way right past this.
I mean, we can have a look at. Is there anything from the fixtures that you think could be very of interest?
From this week's fixtures.
Yeah. Because like we still don't know about the doubles, right? There's still a lot to happen in terms
Mm.
of FA Cup and all of that. That we kind of have to wait and see before we can actually tell how the chips are going to play out.
Yeah. I might just wait for the storm to turn up
Yeah.
before trying to synthesize a calming notes at the minute.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, if you want, we can swap the teams and see how we go. But
Sure.
yeah, I think captaincy Bruno for me. But you don't have Bruno, so what are you gonna do?
Mate, I got to sort my defense out. Let's put it that way. But
Okay.
I do have. Just trying to figure how many moves I've got. I've got 4.
Okay. So the
Yeah.
question is like, would you rather save some, in the hope that you know, because now we can roll transfers after the wildcard as well.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to use some this week. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of who on. So let's start with your team first of all.
All right. Let me swap to the team. Here we go. So this is how the team looks like for this week. Keller in goal, Van Dijk, Mukiele, Hill, Enzo, Bruno with the armband, Embuemo, Harry Wilson, Thiago, Ekitike, and Joe Pedro. So I kind of have all those players that you've mentioned for the armband discussion, with Bruno with the captain's armband. Harry Wilson has the vice captaincy. So Mukiele is obviously the only issue. If he is available, then I'll have a full 11 without having to make transfers. But as things stand, I'm probably looking to sell Mark Guehi to Malik Chow, maybe potentially, to see if I can spike that haul. I do have 2 free transfers, so I have kind of thought as well. Maybe should I use both free transfers, and maybe even sell Declan Rice to like either Iwobi or Anthony Gordon. I mean, Iwobi has Burnley, who are pretty poor. Comis in the chat, a resident Fulham fan, so he'll be
Yes,
able to tell.
you.
And like he does take some part of the set pieces as well, alongside Harry Wilson, which does help for routes to points. So it's between him and Gordon that I've kind of been thinking recently as well, for if I wanted to use the second transfer and not play Enzo Fernandez. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at.
Sure. Nice. Well, there's a couple options there, isn't there? Okay. Yeah. 3-4-3. And you look well set up, especially in the midfield, don't you?
I do, but they had, apart from Harry Wilson and Bruno Fernandes, the rest haven't been doing the business, to be honest. They've kind of been poor in terms of form.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you as always, Chatbox. We've got something to sort out and conjure up, and I look forward to your final changes and the deadline stream, more importantly.
Yes, indeed.
What time are you getting up for that?
It's deadline's at 5:30, so I'll be up at like 3:30.
Oh, top man.
I hate Friday night deadlines when it comes to Australia.
Fair. Right. And we got my team, and it's looking like a pile of horse something. Let's put it there, because we've got one red flag. We've got a few on a blank. It kind of goes like this. We've got a bit to play with.
So Chalaba is out. We probably need another midfielder.
Yeah. Or hang on. Is it Rice to Bruno?
It probably, or even Semenyo to Bruno if needed.
I like Semenyo. I've had him all season. So
fair enough. Yeah. Then yeah, Rice to Bruno.
Rice to Bruno. Chalaba. Who's he going out for?
Well, like I said earlier, the main options are Malik Chow or Anderson. One of those two. Lewis Hall is also not too bad, to be honest. But I probably either Anderson or Chow. Obviously, in the chat, FPL Discomfort mentions Bassi as well from Fulham.
Bassi, yeah.
I think Bassi's DEFCON also isn't too bad, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But I'd rather try and get Anderson slightly. I don't know who's more of a set piece threat. I don't watch Fulham enough to know who's more
Well,
of a
Malik
set
Tayl's
piece
not
threat.
too bad, isn't he?
Yeah, he is a set piece threat. That I because I've owned him before, so I'm pretty confident going for him again because I kind of know what to expect if he can keep a clean sheet. Fulham is a bit more like I'm not fully confident on Fulham's clean sheets always this season, to be honest. Meanwhile, I should mention Forest have won the game in the penalties.
That's huge.
They scored all three of the pens, and Michelin clearly have not been practicing their pens because all three were missed.
So they've somehow got to the Europa League quarterfinals with 3 managers.
Yep.
That is so funny.
And they're still in the relegation fight. But that is a massive boost going into this game against Spurs.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
And if anyone's really looking for some Spurs, the only thing with Forest is they're struggling for goals, right? But if anyone wanted to target Dr. Tottenham, like we call them this season, Morgan Gibbs-White is also not too bad, I would say. Morgan Gibbs-White. I've owned Ryan Yates, who scored this week, but he's such a frustrating player to own, to be honest. So yeah.
Right. Well, I can't leave a gaping hole, so I'm going to put Malik Chow in for the meantime and just see where we go from there.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. And we go as this. Don't really know where this team goes half the time, but we're on. And more importantly, we move. If I can get him out. Not quite for 1751 I was talking about, but yeah. So.
I mean, that's not too bad. You just had to now wait on. You probably should start Bruno. Yeah, there you go. That's pretty good, I'd say. 2 free transfers
That's
you've
not
used.
bad for this week, yeah.
Yeah. And now, if let's say Mukiele is fit, you just have a bench option just in case, like one of the players are not available, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Otherwise, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
I guess question for you, in terms of your goalkeepers between Dubravka and Kelleher, because a lot of people will be in the same situation, and let's maybe add Verbruggen as well. Who would you start? Would you play Dubravka or would you play Kelleher or Verbruggen instead?
Oh God, I haven't thought this far ahead. Probably leave it at the moment.
Yeah.
But that's going to be another week where I get it incorrect. So
it is Burnley, so you can't really expect them to keep cleans, I guess.
Yeah. There you go. So that's how we'll go. Did I put the captaincy on Bruno? Yeah, I have. Okay.
Yes, you did.
Sweet. So yeah, that's it for my team. I didn't mean to break records tonight, guys, but that could well have been the shortest podcast episode. But that's not too bad. It's smack through it.
We kind of got through it. I'm just looking at the comments to see if there was anything in terms of like a question, but I think everyone's kind of knows what they're doing as well from the looks of it.
Yeah. Just doing the one transfer, nice. Man. There's 1 week punt. Wouldn't put you off, Kieran Anderson, Bassi, Tete in that order. Just like we like to give the old goal away. Yeah, fair enough too. So, okay, well, yeah, there you go. Didn't mean it for a short episode. There you have it. Chatbox, thank you so much for coming on.
No worries. Thank you for having me on, obviously. And good. If you ever need me on again, let me know.
We might need to, but yeah, always appreciative. And as always, where can they find you come 3:30 tomorrow morning?
On YouTube, Football Chatbox on YouTube. Some of the regulars that you have in the channel are also the same that I have as well. So they probably know where they come. But yeah, Football Chatbox on YouTube.
Nice. Well, there you go. All the best, everyone. Have a great weekend. And to you as well, Chatbox. And until next time, well, it's a long international break. It's 3 weeks.
Yes.
So
3 weeks for you is longer for me because obviously United don't have even the FA Cup.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a longer break.
Yeah, no, there you have it. So there you go. But until next time, guys, all the best and cheers.